Alright, so this is my video. Italian guy makes Jewish apple cake. And you can see it's delicious. The main thing with your Jewish apple cake that you definitely do not want to do for any reason is overcook it. Don't overcook your Jewish apple cake. This was 65 minutes to get it done with an oven at 350 degrees. And you'll see that in the video. Remember, you're baking a Jewish apple cake and it's pretty simple. You don't have to get super technical with the measurements, although I give the exact measurements. If you want more or less apples, you should. Want more or less cinnamon, you can tailor the recipe to what it is you like. But I've made this for a few parties recently and got rave reviews, so I decided to make a video for it. And I'm going to call this video Italian Man Makes Jewish Apple Cake, because if an Italian man can bake Jewish apple cake, anybody can. First thing you need is a bundt pan, and you have to have the bottom coated with parchment paper. Next thing you need is Pam, and it's the baking pan that has flour already in it. And we date ours because we found that we've used it and ruined things because it was out of date. You could also grease the pan with butter or shortening and then flour it. That works about the same, but the Pam's much simpler. Then you need 3 large Granny Smith apples, 2 cups of sugar or 391 grams, 2 2/3 cup of flour or 375 grams, 1.5 cups of canola oil or 310 grams, 1 tablespoon of baking powder or 11 grams, 1 teaspoon of salt or 6 grams. I don't think it would be Jewish apple cake if you didn't use kosher salt. 4 eggs, half a cup of orange juice or 115 grams, 1 tablespoon of vanilla or 15 grams, and you could always put more if you like vanilla. Last thing is a coating on the apples is 4 teaspoons of sugar, which is 17 grams, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, which is 3 grams, and then this little dash right here is nutmeg. And a shake of nutmeg is my secret ingredient. And nutmeg and cinnamon kind of go hand in hand. So you can leave that out if you don't like it. Now I'm going to cut the apples and show you what that looks like. Okay, here's the apples prepped. Of course, I skin them and I cut them, and they're about the width of my finger. After I quarter them, I cut the quarter into thirds, and that's about the size of the apples. As soon as you got your apples prepped, as soon as your apples are pressed, you want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 176 degrees Celsius. Now you combine your sugar, your cinnamon, and your nutmeg like that. And then I just take and I sprinkle it over top the apples. And then I give them a stir and I sprinkle some more. You're trying to get all the apples with a little bit of this mixture. Stir it again. Then I just put the last of it on. I'll let that sit for a bit and give them one last stir. So the first ingredients you want to get into the mixture is the sugar, the salt, and the baking powder. You just want to give that a quick mix. This was my mom's mixer. It's from 1974. She dated it. She gave it to me 2 or 3 years ago when I started cooking a lot more. Next thing you want to add is the 4 eggs. And you want to combine those. Of course, you could do this recipe by hand. You do not need a mixer to do this. Once the eggs are mixed, you want to add the orange juice. Then you want to add the vanilla. After adding the vanilla, you want to add the oil. Now you want to start Now you want to start slowly adding the flour. Now I like to get a spatula and scrape it down. Then I give it one last mix. All right. Now I'm going to take and coat the pan with the PAM. Say that 3 times fast. And there you have it all coated. Okay, the first thing, now I'm going to pour a little of the batter into the pan, like that. Then I'm going to put a layer of apples in no particular order. Now another layer of batter. I take the rest of the liquid and put it in there from the pan. Now put the last of the batter in, and I do try and coat the apples because I don't want that sugar burning and having burnt apple taste. I try and get each apple coated with batter. Now you can see that all the apples are coated. I just try and press them down a little bit, and that's pretty much it. Now we'll get this in the oven. There it is in the oven. Oven's at 350. Now I time it for 60 minutes. Now the most important thing about making Jewish apple cake is not to overcook it, because nobody likes dry Jewish apple cake. It's fine to have it a little undercooked, as you'll see, because it cooks in the pan after it's taken out of the oven. Alright, here we are at 60 minutes. I'm going to take it out. And it's still wet. You can see it's coated up on there. So we're going to put it in for another 5. But before I do, I'm going to give it a spin. Alright, here we are, 5 minutes more for a total of 65 minutes. That's done. Now you want to normally let it rest for about 10 minutes before you try and take it out of the pan, but for video's sake and ease, I'm going to take it out right now. Okay, so I take a plate, put it over top it, and then I take and flip it. Hopefully you're a little more graceful than me. Help the pan, let go. Take a butter knife under it like that. Butter knife it again. Now I take another pan, another plate, and just flip it. And there you have it. The Italian guy makes a Jewish apple cake. Also, you can see that it left the parchment paper behind, no issues. Now that the cake is cooled somewhat, I'm going to cut it to show you what it should look like inside. There it is on the inside of the cake. Now we'll give it a try. And it's delicious as it always is. I thank you for watching, and please give it a try. It's easy as can be.